I just had this great thought, and I wanted to share it with you guys. As we become married, um, I know when I was first married to my wife, I was a brute bear, right? I was just not easy to work with, just hard-headed and full of pride, and at times could tear her down. And I realized when we got married, God really blessed that time that I had with her. He took her gentleness and her grace and her love and her kindness, and he brought that unto me in such a way where I had to learn to be gentler. I had to learn to be kinder. I had to learn how to work well with her. And God took my strength of being strong-minded, a leader, and he lavished that to my wife. And I realized when God takes two and makes them one, he literally takes two parts of a person, right? Or two parts of, shall we say, of who somebody is. And it is one of the hardest things you'll ever come to realize when you guys actually get a wife out there. Maybe you already have one. It is when God takes two and makes them one. And then I started to think about Christ. I started to think about how when we're born again, how God comes and we become married to his son. And how in the beginning it can be rocky, right? And in the beginning, you start to see Jesus' way. You see his holiness, his righteousness, the ways when we're called to speak, right? It's not what defiles a man isn't what he eats, but it's what comes out the mouth that defiles him, for it proceeds from the heart. A man speaks out his mouth. And so then we start to see this clear demonstration that we need to walk. Actually, I don't know the word is walk. We need to follow Christ. Sure, walk in the ways that he walks. And we start to learn that in the beginning, God starts to convict us, to work on our hearts, and to change us into being more like the image of the Son. And it reminded me of how in the beginning of marriage, how I could be so hard on my wife, and how God taught me to be more gentle, how I could be so firm, and God called me to be equally yoked, how I could be so stubborn in all my ways and all my teachings, and God said grace. And to my wife, she learned to be firm. She learned to give grace in a firm way, meaning knowing when to be firm and when to be gentle. He gave my wife my leadership. And once again, I took her love. And when Christ comes, he imputes his righteousness to you. And he sanctifies you. And he makes you holy. And when you walk with Christ, he changes. He changes your relationship you have with your wife. He changes the relationship you even have with your children and your kids. And so I would just urge you guys today, man, to follow him, to pick your cross up daily, and to give your life to him. And when you fall short, because you will, fall upon the cross. We're not saved by our works. We're saved by the work of him who died for me and you. God bless each and every one of you. I'm out. Peace. Smash that like and subscribe, YouTube.